Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video. I know it's been a very long time, but I just felt like making a video, so here we are. Fortunately, it'll probably be a while before I really start making videos consistently again, I don't know. But today we are going to do a tutorial video, and this time it has nothing to do with any Goku specific things. Today I'm actually going to go over how to better your movement and how to practice your movement. So I'm not the greatest player. I don't know if I'm really the greatest person to be getting advice from. The only thing is I feel like I'm in a unique position to give advice to newer players who are still learning the game, because I was there once too, where somebody who's like a veteran might struggle to connect with newer players because they're really good at fighting games. They've probably been playing them for a while. FighterZ was my first fighting game ever. So I know what it's like to be a totally new player, learning how to do anything. When I started this game, I had no idea what I was doing. Never played a fighting game before. So I feel like I might have like I said, a unique perspective that I can provide y'all to help you get better and, share with you some things that I feel like help me get better as I've improved in this game over time. So yeah, like I said, today we're going to be going over movement, which is something that I've kind of over time have just kind of improved on and have gotten more fluid with. This actually comes from a comment I received on a previous video. Someone asked, if I could go over my movement and share some tips, which I thought was a great idea. I'll show his comment here. I'll leave his name out because he would prefer to remain anonymous, but feel free to comment down below, dude, and I'll pin and heart your comment. But yeah, thanks to him for the idea. Anyhow, moving on. Like I said, just some helpful tips. So you guys probably see me bouncing around the screen a lot, air dashing, and just, I don't know, kind of moving wildly. Remember exactly watching people like Jay and Crofts do stuff like this, just jump back and forth and kind of dash and move around just however the way they wanted to, and thinking, man, that looks like fun, I wish I could do that. It looks crazy. And people like Jay and Crofts, they play with fight sticks and things like that. I just use the DS4. I don't use anything fancy like a fight pad. I'm not trying to diss anybody who does. I'm just saying I'm saying you can have that same kind of movement without needing a special pad or anything. I actually even I had to relearn how to play this game when I switched from Xbox to PS4 because I was so dependent on the discular D-pad I had on the Xbox. So when I switched to the DS4, I had to learn how to play it on the D-pad, which actually I feel like improved my game a lot. I feel like you get a lot more accuracy with the PS4 D-pad. So if you're playing with the PS4 D-pad, don't feel like you're disadvantaged, because you can master the D-pad, and I feel like you can actually do very, very well. I mean, of course, a lot of people like Hook King God and Sonic Fox, I believe, play with the controllers, so yeah, you are not disadvantaged. Anyhow, let's get right into the tips. So my first tip, I think, would just be simply practice your air dashes. Just do this, bounce around the screen a bit, jump back and forth, or just go into the corner and practice repeating your air dash, like jump heavy, and try to do it to the point you're consistent with it. See how many times you can do it in a row without messing up. I mean, that's the simplest way to practice. And switch the corner so you can do it more consistently on each side. So yeah, I mean, just anytime you're in the lab and you're practicing and trying to get warmed up, just practice your IEDs and just try to get more effortless with them. Eventually, over time, it'll be like totally mindless. Another thing I'd recommend is I don't use the Smart Dash. Let me show you guys. Where is it? Button settings. I turn this off. I mean, that could be up to pure preference. I think a lot of players, some players do use it. I think like Wolfmonger uses it. I don't like it. I think it's confusing. If you hold a direction, let's say you want a super dash, but you're holding a direction, instead of super dashing, you're going to get just a regular dash. So, for example, I'm holding forward and I super dash. there, if I had the dash, smart dash on, instead of a super dash, I would get a smart dash. So, I don't know, I feel like in the heat of the moment, when you're playing fast-paced, something like that could mess you up. So I prefer to leave it off, but, you know, if it makes you, I mean, it actually is really good for repeating your, if you want to do quick dashes in succession like this. So yeah, as long as you're holding a direction, I mean, you can use it, but I prefer not to. I just prefer to do a diagonal motion and then a direction in quick succession. Either up forward, forward, or up back, back, just really fast. Or you can, if you're in there, just do, you know, quick tap, double tap forward, or quick double tap back. Anyhow, moving on. So the next big tip I would recommend is practicing your cross-ups like this. Be sure to pick a character who is cross-up oriented, somebody like Yamcha or Goku Blue, or basically almost any Goku except GT, or I don't know, but UI Goku. He's good. Yeah, I think he's got a really good one. Yeah, UI Goku's good. But someone like Bardock, on the other hand, his cross-up, I don't know. I think you can hit it, but it's weird. Yeah, see, kind of, I don't know. I'd recommend somebody like Yamcha, who has a huge jumping medium, who can get the cross-up really easily. So yeah, to explain this further, I would recommend getting a character like Yamcha or Goku Blue and just practicing your cross-ups like this. And just keep doing this as many times as you can without breaking the 3. I broke it. See how it says 2 up there? You want it to keep saying 3. If it says 2, that's not a true combo. So you want to keep doing it as consistently as possible for as long as possible, and just practice your cross-ups. Just keep practicing them until you get them down comfortably. This is also just really good to have in the arsenal. You know, you may not play Yamcha or Goku Blue, but you know, see if whoever you're playing is capable of cross-ups like this, because it's super good for catching people off guard. GT Goku is really strong, but he doesn't have a good cross-up. And be sure who you're using. Like another thing is, if you're practicing, make sure, like Goku Blue, his 5LL knocks people down, so you probably want to do something like 2L, 5L, jump over, or just 5L. You have to do something awkward like 5L, jump over, dash up, 5L, which is very difficult. Yeah, something like that. Super Saiyan Goku used to have the best cross-up, but you know, since the nerf, that doesn't really work anymore. But you know, something like this. You know, you've probably seen Dato do it a ton with the old Super Saiyan Goku if you watch him. You know, the classic cross-up. Yeah, practice your air cross-ups, and that'll better help you with your air dashes. And timing that jumping medium, that's very crucial, and it's just good to have in the back pocket. All right, so moving on, the next thing is I can't remember what it's called, but I'm just going to call it the super jump dash. You can see here, like a regular jump looks like this. Doesn't go very far, but you can do a super jump like this. And look how much screen space I'm able to cover. I hit a UI Goku TOD way early on in its release. I think it was like a day or two after its release. And I'm going to edit that in right here. And something I've come to appreciate as a player is, if you notice in the very, very beginning of that clip, it begins with me clearing over my opponent, so I'm able to hit that 2M and get them in the corner. You know, a lot of people, when they see that clip, they're looking at the TOD, and every time I see it, I think, man, that jump was so clean. I remember there was a time when that was super hard, but now it's like, I did it without even thinking about it, but it looks so cool. At first, it seems like a really difficult motion. It's actually the same motion you're pretty much going to be doing in your re-jump combos. If you're not familiar with the re-jump combo, it's going to look something like this. You can mix it up, extend it, whatever. But yeah, it's basically a combo where you know, when you do a re-jump, when you hit the ground and you continue the combo in the air. A lot of characters are capable of a re-jump. Bardock has a re-jump, but I think it's fries an air dash, but not quite the same. Yeah, something like that. You want to use somebody like Goku Blue, who after you land on the ground, you have to do a quick dashing motion. Basically, it's a very, very quick motion of a dash forward into a jump. It's basically jumping with the dash, but you're doing it very quickly, just like that. You kind of want to practice to the point where you can barely tell that you're dashing forward at all. It just looks like you're doing a jump stationary. You know, it doesn't even look like I'm dashing forward. It looks like I'm just doing a super jump. Yeah, and practicing your re-jumps will help you better get better at it, and just do it. And eventually, I mean, you'll use it like I did in that clip, not even thinking about it. Something I just kind of was able to use to my advantage. That's a good thing about learning a lot of new tech, is you can take what you've learned and apply it elsewhere. So yeah, like I said, the re-jump. Basically, at this point right here, you do that dash. After I hit the super dash, I dash forward, jumping medium, land on the ground, and then I do a quick dash like that to be able to connect the re-jump. So anyhow, let's go over what we learned. So the first thing was to practice your air dashes. Just do those, you know, anytime you hit the practice, you know, or hit lap, just do your air dashes. If you're uncomfortable with them, just get to a point where you can do them effortlessly. Again, be sure to practice your air dashes in the corner to better catch your opponent off guard. You don't want to be slipping up and messing up just like that. You want to be sure that when it comes to it, you're able to land that air dash motion. And lastly, the re-jump combo. I feel like that is a very, very, very good tool to have. The re-jump is definitely something, I don't know, I just love it. Mainly for reasons like in that clip I showed y'all. But yeah, there you go. I really hope these tips have been informative. I hope they make sense and you guys can see how they might be helpful. And hopefully, you know, after practicing a few of these things, I hope you guys are able to better master your movement. I hope I was able to provide a new perspective for you guys, and I really appreciate you guys giving me the time. And I'm very, very sorry I haven't been posting lately. Hopefully that will change soon, but we will see. If I do post a video, it'll probably be from Xbox, and man, I hate the Xbox controller. I used to love it, now I hate it. My PS4 subscription ran out, so now I only have an Xbox subscription. But anyways, like I said, guys, I really appreciate you guys giving me the time. Thank you guys so much. I really hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys might see how these things can help improve your game a bit. And if you have any questions or other suggestions, please comment down below, and I would be very happy to help. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you. Thanks again. Peace, and God bless.